Good morning, children. I hope everyone are doing good, staying at home. I'm Mrs. Grace taking English Literature for class 6. So today before we move on to our lesson, let us know something about kidnapping. I hope everyone are aware of what kidnapping is. Yes. Some people they take some children as captives and ask their parents for ransom amount for returning those children again to the parents. So, as you are also children, I want to give you some safety instructions. Here, if you see how children are being attracted by strangers, giving them a candy or a chocolate, and as they come closer, they just kidnap them and take them to their place. Now, here are some instructions that I'm giving you. You must check with your elders before you go anywhere. You should not go alone to the unknown places. Talk to your elders if you feel uncomfortable about anything. You should know that there is always someone to help you out. Do not talk to stranger or accept anything from them. Do not get into a vehicle you do not know. Do not trust anyone who you don't know. Always be alert when you go out. So, for your own safety, you need to follow these instructions. So, as we move on, for today's lesson, we are dealing with the ransom of Red Chief. This is a short story by O. Henry, first published in July 6, 1907. O. Henry was the pen name of William Sidney Potter. His short stories are known for their playful and witty content and their unexpected or surprise ending. The Ransom of Red Chief is a brilliant example of O. Henry's use of a plot, twist, and humor. So, as we read the lesson, we'll know what twist and humor that O. Henry gave in this story. So, this is a short story of which revolves around two people who had kidnapped a small boy, a 10-year-old boy, and how this kidnapping has turned to be a humor. How this boy and these two people face the challenge to maintain this boy. As we read the lesson, you will come to know. So before the lesson, let us know few words that we come across the lesson. Accede, to agree to a demand or request. Buggy, a horse-drawn cart. Counter, proposition, an offer made as an alternative to a previous one. Foreclose, to take back a property that was bought with borrowed money because that money is not being paid back as agreed. Freckle, small brown spots usually found on the face. Mortgage, a loan usually taken when buying property. Prominent, important, well known. Provision, food, drink, and equipment. Scout, a soldier or other person sent out to investigate. Subjugation, to be brought under complete control, conquered. Surreptitiously, without being noticed, secretly. Treachery, betrayal of trust. So these are the words that we come across the lesson, and you need to learn the meaning of these words. So as we move on, shall we read the lesson now? Okay. So we were down south in Alabama, Bill Driscoll and myself, when this kidnapping idea struck us. Bill and me had about $600 and we needed just $2,000 more to buy some land in western Illinois. We figured that family love is strongest in semi-rural communities and decided to do our kidnapping in Summit, a small town. We selected for our victim the only child of a prominent citizen named Ebenezer Dorset. Mr. Dorset was known for his wealth, which he made from lending mortgage and making foreclosures. The kid was a boy of 10 with freckles and bright red hair. Bill and me figured that Ebenezer would agree to pay a ransom of $2,000. But wait till I tell you what happened. About 2 miles from Summit was a little tree covered mountain. On the rear slope of this mountain was a cave. There we stored provision. One evening we drove in a buggy past old Dorset's house. The kid was in the street throwing rocks at a kitten on the opposite fence. So here we see a buggy, a small horse-drawn cart. Okay, so and there is a small hill covered with tree near the 2 miles away from Summit was a little tree covered mountain. So there is a cave in that mountain and they stored all the provisions, that is food, whatever equipment they need, drinks and all, they stored in that cave. And this story was written in the narration form. So one of the kidnapper is narrating the story here. And he is telling the story. So how they planned this kidnapping, where they have planned in Alabama, they got this idea of kidnapping, and why they wanted to kidnap, because they need more $2,000 to buy some land in western Illinois. So they have selected a boy, Mr. Dorset's 10-year-old boy, Ebenezer Dorset, who is a wealthiest prominent citizen in the town called Summit. So they selected this boy for kidnapping. So when they have gone in front of their house, what they see, one evening we drove a buggy past old Dorset's house. The kid was in the street throwing rocks at a kitten on the opposite fence. "Hey," says Bill, "would you like some candy?" So Bill is offering a candy to this small boy. When they saw him, he was throwing rocks on a kitten that is on the opposite fence. And Bill wanted to make friendship with him, so he offered a candy. And what did the boy do when Bill offered a candy? The boy threw a piece of brick at Bill's head. That boy put up a fight, but eventually we got him in the buggy and drove up to the cave. After dark, I drove the buggy back to the village I had hired it in and walked back. Bill was examining and treating the scratches and bruises on his face and legs. There was a fire burning in the cave, and the boy was sitting by it, with 2 bizarre tail feathers stuck in his red hair. He points a stick at me and says, "Ha! Cursed paleface, do you dare to enter Red Chief's camp?" "He'll all right now," says Bill. We're playing Indian. I'm old Hunk, Red Chief's captive, and I'm to be scalped at daybreak. Ouch, that kid can kick hard. The boy seemed very happy. The fun of camping out had made him forget that he was a captive. He immediately named me Snake Eye the Spy and announced that I was to meet my end the next day. Then we had supper, and he filled his mouth full of bread and gravy and talked. So here we see that the boy is giving some hard time to Bill and the narrator of the story. So here he made these two people as his captives, and he wanted to, and he ordered that Bill's that Bill is a red hand. That Bill is a captive, and this boy is a red chief, and Sam, and the narrator of the story is, he named him as a Snake Eye. And as they had supper, this boy, he was talking, and he talked a lot, and his speech went something like this: I never camped out before. It's fun. But I had a pet once, and I was 9 last birthday. Are there any real Indians in these woods? I want some more gravy. Does the trees moving make the wind blow? We had 5 puppies. What makes your nose so red, hunk? My father has lots of money. Are the stores hot? Do oxen make any noise? Why are oranges round? A parrot can talk, but a monkey or a fish can't. So, this is the speech given by this red chief, this 10-year-old boy. There's no connection between his questions and statements that he is giving. So he's like a chatterbox. When we read this paragraph, it seems like he's a chatterbox. Every few minutes he would remember that he was an Indian, and would let out a war whoops that made old Hank shiver. That boy had Bill terrorized from the start. So Bill is terrorized from starting. The time they had kidnapped this boy, Bill was terrorized with him. I said, Kid, would you like to go home? Ah, what for? Says he. I don't have any fun at home. I hate school. I like camping. You won't take me home, Snake Eye, will you? Not right away, said I. Yeah, said he. I never had such fun in all my life. And about 11 o'clock, we spread down some white blankets and went to bed. Red Chief kept up awake for 3 hours, jumping up and reaching for his rifles and screeching in our ears. As each crackle of twig, or the rustle of a leaf made him imagine that outlaws were approaching at last. At last, I fell into a troubled sleep and dreamed that I had been kidnapped and chained to a tree by a ferocious pirate with red eye. Just at daybreak, I was awakened by awful screams from Bill. I jumped up to see what the matter was. Red Chief was sitting on Bill's chest, holding him by the hair. In his other hand, he had the sharp knife, and he was seriously trying to take Bill's scalp. He had promised the evening before. So here we see that. mm very it was very trouble for them to sleep. And once when this narrator has gone into sleep, and he had a dream that he was kidnapped and tied to a tree by a uh, by a red red hair, a ferocious pirate with red hair. So as he was sleeping, he just at daybreak, he was awakened by the awful scream from Bill. And when he woke up, what he saw that Red Chief was sitting on Bill's chest. He was holding a knife, he was holding the hair, and in another hand he had sharp knife, and he seriously trying to take Bill's scalp. So with this, Bill was very much terrorized. So I got the knife away from the kid and made him lie down again. But from that moment, Bill's spirit was broken. He lay down on his side of the bed, but he never closed an eye again in sleep as long as the boy was with us. Ain't it awful, Sam? No one will pay money to get a little imp like that back. His parents will, said I. I went to the top of the little mountain and looked around over towards the summit. I expected to see a search party, but what I saw was a peaceful landscape. Perhaps, says I to myself, it has not yet been discovered. When I got to the cave, I found Bill backed up against the side of it, breathing hard, and the boy threatening to smash him with a rock half as big as a coconut. He put a red hot boiled potato from my down my back, explains Bill, and then mashed it with his foot and hit him. I hit him. I took the rock away from the boy and kind of patched up the argument. I'll fix you, says the kid to the Bill. Says the kid to Bill. So, when Sam went up to the mountain to see what's happening in the town, so there was a peaceful atmosphere. There's no search party or anything like that, no panic and all. So he thought that it might have not been discovered that boy had been kidnapped. So when he came down again to the cave, he saw that um, this boy is again giving trouble to Bill. So he came down and he took away the that brick that was there in his hand, and he tried to patch up the argument. But this boy was giving warning to Bill that I'll fix you. So, till here, I want all of you to read the lesson, and the next part of the lesson will continue in the next video. Till then, you read the lesson till here and understand it. Okay, children? Thank you.